Okay. The meeting is on its way. Ready, guys? Good evening, welcome to the emergency meeting of the Texas School Committee. On today, September 14th at 6:06 p.m. If we could all rise. Oh, yeah, all rise and then we'll take
next to which is one nation, it is alone, liberty and justice.
Let's begin demonstrating the roll call. Thank you.
Ms. Finola. Here. Mr. Charbonneau.
Here.
Ms. Fernandez. Here. Ms. Grant.
Here, thank you. If I could entertain a motion to go into executive session. We're not doing this in executive session?
No, comes to,
Okay.
may I? Madam Chair?
Yeah, please.
So the posting does know, a specific section of the, Open Meetings Act, 42-46-6, subsection C. And that is the section that provides, for an emergency meeting in the event of an unexpected occurrence that requires immediate attention by the committee, to address, a public, safety issue, or protect the public, I believe is the. So, that's the reason that that section of the Open Meetings Act is identified on the agenda to meet that requirement, but it's not the section that will require a vote to go into executive session.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. So tonight we're here pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 42-16-6C of the Open Meetings Act. A majority of the Pawtucket School Committee affirmatively voted to hold an emergency meeting to discuss an unexpected occurrence of receipt of a graphic mailer depicting school massacres relating to a public safety issue that requires immediate action to protect members of the public and to discuss the issues that created the need for an emergency meeting.
Yeah, so just so I have clear understanding, this was the, because I thought that we were doing this in executive session, we're not. Okay.
Okay.
I heard.
Well, I think the public needs to know what, I need to know.
Yeah, no, Madam Chair, if I may.
Please.
I had reached out to Chairman Jalal, today requesting the emergency meeting based on a mailer that appeared in the mailbox last evening. I noticed immediately on the mailer that there was no postage mark, there is no, defining the return address. But the contents of the envelope were shocking, disturbing. Any time that there's violence depicted in and around our schools is cause for concern for all of us. Whether it be in the form of a mailer sent to committee members' houses or what have you. I was concerned greatly by the contents of the mailer. When I spoke to the chairman, he indicated that he had also received the mailer, and that's why I called for the emergency meeting. I wasn't aware if other members of the committee had or had not, but certainly there were two of us who had received it. And so I wanted to make the committee aware of it, certainly discuss it openly and transparently with the community. I think it's just, it's outrageous, and I said, you know, what is depicted in this mailer should never, ever be out there for public consumption. And, you know, I'm glad I'm the one who received the mail yesterday and opened it, rather than my wife or my daughter or my son. I think it's outrageous. I assume my committee members feel the same way. I noticed as the meeting began, everyone walked in with a similar manila envelope. And the contents, I'm assuming, are the same. And I think it's something that you know, the citizens of the Pawtucket should know about, and, you know, where it comes from, how it ends up in my mailbox, your mailbox, Mr. Noel's mailbox, all of the committee members' mailbox, who knows? But it's outrageous, and it's just disgraceful.
So, does anyone on the committee, I don't know if anyone's talked to anyone outside our committee, you have, Mr. Sheldon?
I did, I called around the state police today, they referred to the Pawtucket Police Department. And I believe the Pawtucket Police Department is already in receipt of the packet that, the committee members received.
And, does anyone know if any other, committees besides the school committee received something? Or anyone from within the jurisdiction, meaning principals, our superintendent, or anything like that. So they're, so it looks like we're the only ones who receive this.
And I would think that any other, I mean, if this was something that was distributed widely to school committees in Rhode Island, I would think we would have heard of other emergency meetings this evening, or those scheduled for tomorrow. So, and I haven't heard anything else from any other members, of, you know, the community who received it.
No, I don't even know members of the city council.
Yeah, I haven't looked at anything. I do feel there are a couple of ways to interpret this. The first one is, of course, you know, it scares you to think that someone's coming, or preparing you for someone coming into your district to hurt people. But then the other way of looking at this too is someone's could possibly be just telling the seven of us that they're looking to hurt us, and we need to be prepared. So, you know, those are the concerns. And I guess Mr. Connolly, I know they haven't, no one's specifically stated, that we are in trouble, it's a feeling we won't get. But is there anything that, or any recourse or anything we should follow through on?
Well, I understand that, as a result of, Mr. Chavez contacting the state police, who referred to the Pawtucket police, so the Pawtucket police is aware, but my suggestion would be exactly that this matter referred to the police department for investigation, so that, the police department can look at the information that's in there, do whatever investigative follow-up required to determine, you know, whether or not it's a threat to the district and, or the source of the violence.
Now, would you suggest that, we all individually contact them, or now that Mr. Chavez has contacted them or been in touch with them, do each of us need to inform them?
Well, I think that the record of this meeting will probably confirm that all the members of the committee have received it. That it is probably prudent in addition to whatever other action you may decide to take, that the committee make a formal referral of this communication to the Kentucky Police Department. And then, the Kentucky Police Department receive at least one of the mailers, so that they have a full opportunity to look at all the information that's in it. And they can certainly follow up with any and all members of the committee, as they determine this mark. So, that would be my motion, that we refer this to the Kentucky School Committee. Attorney Conlon, will you handle that referral for us on our behalf? Sure. So I would ask that, I'm sorry, I would ask that we, I would make a motion that Attorney Conlon refer this matter with my mail orders, but all of the mail orders that are mailed, to the Kentucky Police Department for further investigation.
So the motion is that, Mr. Connolly, on your behalf, will work the situation at the end to the Kentucky Police Department and provide them with the names of the members of the school committee who have received the documentation within the envelope that he will mail. Do I have a second? Joanne, please.
If I can make a comment, and I received it, and my first thought was that there was a press release, and there was a meeting from SIPAC security, where they wanted to put shooter security in our school, that we were in coordination with the mayor and the city. And then that was on the 9th, and a week less than a week later, we all meeting. It's a coincidence, but I don't believe things such as there are intent, and I need to relate back to that. To scare us, to ensure that something is enacted, but, wherever it comes from, I mean, this is not only a threat to us, this is a threat to our district as a whole. It desperately needs to be done. But I would not put it past anyone to submit this, and you would say, Jay, that you could try, they looked up this company and it doesn't exist, there's no.
I haven't been able to find anything on it, but if it, exists beyond our website.
And yeah, and even if you scan the back of it, you can't find it. It just says nothing like, it's to the mountains or whatever. But even if you look at it, there's no address, there's no state, there's no information on where it comes from. I think when you said this, I think, I can see where you're coming from. I don't know anything about the program, what they were talking about, but I definitely think this is something to scare us, and it is a coincidence that it all kind of rolled around the same time.
And I think that when Mr. Connolly speaks to the police, we could inform them that it was only so many days ago that there was presentation in City Hall for a grant for $250,000. And
I don't remember the day it was a covenant, but I know I can get it, I will go to sit.
I just think it's very coincidental. And,
Mr. Conley, do you think it would be out of line for, either one of us or yourself to reach out to Tim Duffy to see if he's heard anything from any other districts?
No, you should check.
Okay, I just didn't know if, so I definitely, if you guys are okay with that, I'm just thinking, maybe, you know, just kind of reaching out to him tomorrow. And just asking for the concern, any other districts, you know, getting anything like this. The other thing too is, do you guys want me to reach out to, Terry Mercer to see if anyone on the city council has received anything? I can, if you guys want me to, yeah, I can do that.
this would be good information to know whether they have not, or just specifically directed at.
I can just Terry, I can call to you.
So I did, go to the department today with my packet. And it was completely disturbing and, what worried me a lot. I did, my first thought was kind of similar to advance the coincidence. And then it's not, right? Like it's, you can interpret this so many ways. I did bring it to them, I met with the detective who pretty much told me that it's freedom of speech and that there's no threat. They're gonna hold on to the fact that they'll kind of, look into it, see if they could find something, but that it wasn't a threat, which, I didn't agree with, but I mean, they know the law, I don't, but when I opened that, I felt very threatened, not only for myself and my family, but for the kids. Like, for the school, like, I did feel very threatened, so, but they said that, it's not a threat. But they have a packet, I just want you to know that, they do have a packet, I don't know, it's very disturbing, very disturbing.
And I don't see how you can interpret it any other way.
It's even when the question wasn't trying to kids, I mean, primarily it showed kids running. So, you know, we always safety. And what we do about that, do we ask for police presence? A lot to,
Well, they have it. They have a packet. They know the time.
but unless we ask them to step up security, which would be the superintendent's role, to step up security around what the school at Smith Hill and time when goes.
Listen, I think we have to be measured together, not create,
Yeah,
right, and measured in the approach. And I'm sorry if you feel it's too late. But if you got this delivered to your house,
You know, you can address me, Jay, but you didn't bother to tell me that this was even happening.
run.
This meeting wasn't happening, right? You got it at 3:30 today. You didn't bother to tell me that it was happening until 5:38 on an email on an agenda. It's too late to not into it because the agenda said public safety is at risk because of a flyer with school massacre. And nobody on the Missouri school committee decided to pick up a phone and call the union president and stop her.
Well,
Nobody. So you can yell at me all you want to say, so right back at you. You said Tuesday, you didn't make sense. You didn't.
Stop.
hold on. I want to address that.
Okay, all right, just let me just kind of, okay, you can go, don't interrupt him, and then I'll give you your chances. Okay,
I did communicate her. I reached out to the chairman of the school committee. And I advised him of the mail that I had. When he shared with me that he had the mail, That's what I told him. I was calling the state police, and I wanted an emergency meeting as soon as possible. That was my obligation after getting this. The chairman of the school committee, when I was the chairman of the school committee, I reached out to you, and you reached out to me. You didn't reach out to other members of the committee, or other members of the committee didn't reach out to you. We worked together. So if you think that I'm gonna call you on this, when I did what I was supposed to do, you're mistaken. I'm sorry that the chairman didn't reach out. But don't come at me or say that it's too late while you're sitting there, because I got the mailer last night and I was horrible.
Would you like to say?
No, I'm not going to respond to
So. Mr. Charbonneau, I do agree with you, and I think that, I think we do have to be very careful. I think there is a difference between a threat and a scare tactic. We don't know what it is, but the right people do have the information. And like I said, I think the reason we do have to be careful is because we don't want to cause a frenzy. So I think, I know Mr. Conley is gonna reach out on our behalf. And, we can just kind of, follow up with it, whether we need to, have another meeting, depending on what, comes back to Mr. Conley, what comes back to any of us. I know, there's mention of that Sky County, having a Sky County meeting or something next week or something. Anyone received an email about that. If there aren't any more questions or concerns, I think we kind of have a plan in regards to, kind of where we go from here. The superintendent, if, you need to work with Mr. Conley and Mr. Beaupre, and, want to, have security tenure at the schools, or even just have police officers maybe drive around, because you have houses too, because we are the ones who basically were targeted. So, you guys can kind of decide that. Go ahead.
I would just ask though that someone from this committee is part of those discussions, because we can't be finding things out after the fact, right? And someone on this committee who's here and can step up and take a leadership role needs to make sure that this stuff happens, because this should have been addressed last month. Not by any of us in this. Jay did what he needed to do with that information, and it didn't get to where it needs to go. So let's again direct our thoughts or miscommunications at the right people. Okay, but these conversations can't be happening behind our back when it comes to us. Like, this is too serious for there to be meetings held behind closed doors and stuff like that, with information kept away from us committee members. Like, we need to be part of that.
Okay, no, and I agree. Typically, it would be the chair. Mr. Shalal is not here tonight. Is there anyone on the committee who would like to be part of the conversation?
What conversation do we refer?
Well, I think. Yeah, I think if he's correct, but I think she means the conversations in regards to, should we up security? Should we, whether the police, come back for things?
If I may, I think that level of decision making should be left with the superintendent, and she would communicate out to us her decision. I'm sure after communication with Mr. O'Crary and our legal counsel. I don't know that. I think those meetings may be flipped, and I don't know if somebody's always gonna be present, I wouldn't want the meeting to not exist because of our ability to get there. And I'm comfortable that, you know, if the superintendent decides she's gonna increase, security, or whatever the case may be, that you can communicate that back out to a time. If that.
I mean, that's fine, it's just us not being aware of what's happening, right, that puts us in these kind of, so, I mean, yes, I try to, you know, communicate with us, but we need to know what's going on and what next steps are, because we're gonna get a lot of phone calls, you know, you can guarantee once it's, okay, great, the ones that are gonna get the phone calls from the community, and we need to know what's going on, what's happening.
What do we know? We have the agenda, please,
Go ahead.
how this whole situation with that. Responsible for part of this district. And I think it reminds me using the district together. Yes, I would definitely keep going. As we make decisions along the way, we do need time to come together and discuss what discuss we need to. We are filling the victims or my teachers or my families or we're all putting this together. And in times like this, I will assure everyone we love them, keep constant communication, often as possible. And I do need to get my needs in the district so we can work through this as soon as possible. Give me the opportunity, and that is what was able to make it. But one of the leaders in the district, and we come together.
Call the motion.
So we're going to, have a motion to the superintendent.
For authorize for Connolly.
Roll call. Oh, okay, roll call.
Ms. Fenelon? Yes. Mr. Shabana?
Yes.
Ms. Fernandez?
Yeah.
Ms. Grant?
Yeah,
Motion to adjourn.
second. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Second.
You want to do it? What do you want?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.